Hi Virgo, welcome to your monthly readings. As always, keep in mind that this is only a general reading. Always take what it feels right and with what does resonate within your own life experiences during this time. And if you would like a personal reading with me, please contact me through the email I put in the description box below. For the month of May, I'm offering two special tarot offers. One is called the Tales of the Earth, and it's a reading focused on both material and spiritual growth and themes in general of abundance and fertility. The other one is a reading that is more focused into relationship dynamics, in particular in themes of sexuality, intimacy, and the nature of pleasure. And it's called In Between the Sheets. So if you would like to know more info about those special readings, just email me. Or if you would like to donate and support my channel, you can also do so by following the PayPal link, which is also down below, and as well my Facebook and Instagram page. So, Virgo, I feel like some of you are, in the month of May, either acting upon situations too hastily and too impulsively, or being too passive and slow, kind of dragging situations that in which you should affirm and take a stand um, with more of a dynamic energy. So some of you are kind of either driving too fast or not driving at all. And I think that this is something that in the month of May might affect you and the way you kind of are able to manifest the reality you're looking for. Because I feel like the fact that there's so much tension within between doing or not doing, saying or not saying, creating or not creating, trusting or not trusting, all of this is causing a big internal war. I think that some of you are at war in May with how you are feeling within situations, bringing a certain fire of tension to some of the experiences you are circling around. I feel like some of you want to do something, but you don't know how to do it. Well, what's the best approach, how you go about it. Some of you are quite, there's an energy for Virgo during the month of May where it's like there's something kind of ripping you apart, and this ripping apart doesn't feel an energy of as much as of a heartbreak. It's more something like wild. I think that there's like this intensity inside of you that is kind of building itself to a point where it might explode in ways that you didn't mean to or you didn't want to, because it may affect the healthy and balanced dynamic within relationships and your work or your duties in general. May end up being affected by this very rash, aggressive, sometimes uh, intense reactions that might, come out of you. I feel like some of you have been, it depends on your situation. For Virgos that have been just doing, and not relaxing, not stopping, not breathing, not taking time for themselves, may be the month where something happens where you are kind of forced to stop so that you don't damage situations, and including yourself. I think that some of you can be kind of self-harming yourselves without realizing it, or without really knowing, by um, the intensity in which you look, for situations to happen, like more, and not, easing on it. I think that some of you need to ease on something so things get balanced, and so you get, centered in what you're truly feeling and experience, and so when to react and when to retreat. I think that some of you are as well tested in reaction, knowing when you need to react and to take actions, and to be proactive actually about things you want, and when to not be as pushy or as insistent. as some of you may be. I think that there's like a misplaced sense of energy, like where you should be proactive, maybe you're not being proactive enough, or brave enough, or taking enough stand, or believing or trusting the situation that it's in your hand to change. Maybe you're not being as proactive in some area you need to be proactive, and then in areas where you need to relax, be patient, cool down, wait, you may be insisting. I feel like some of you are knocking on doors that are closed, which means that some of you are, again, insisting on situations that are not changing or just not for you. Others of you, actually, during the month of May, can make powerful, initiative in terms of work and career. I feel like some of you are going to, you know, have something inside of you awakening, fire, creative fire awakening in you, that you're going kind of to channel. I think that some of you are going to channel all of this into work and career, and having amazing results coming out of it. With this Three of Pentacles as your foundation, or your unconscious energy, you want results. So you don't want to just be in la la land, especially because as a past influence you have the moon. You have been on la la land. You have been already, trying to make sense of what is senseless, or what seems, hard, you know, to manifest itself into a visible, tangible manner that you can work with. You have been there in the overly, maybe emotional realm. Some of you fantasizing, some of you daydreaming, some of you, actually connecting yourselves with intuitive power. That now, again, you're going to use everything that you have learned, for better or for worse, with the moon energy here as your past influence. Everything you have learned, you're now going to use that as fuel to create and to be very successful in those creations, to have results that are abundant and worth, your time and your investment. Because I also feel like some of you are, with the Queen of Pentacles in the conscious position, you want to get better conditions for your life, maybe more financial autonomy, maybe more, satisfaction with your career status or your career flow. Some of you want your domestic life as well to be improved. And so I think that some of you are even though is in the unconscious, you have an urge to fix and better situations for you and for others as well, that are kind of supporting you. I feel like some of you have teams, or a team involved in something that may be very, in which there might be very productive, inspiring results. Some of you have good support, or you might attract good support to add you in your work, or tools, knowledge, advice that might be very valuable to you, Virgos, to advance in your career path. Some of you, your career paths and choices, and also your domestic life, are in focus. Some of you are called here to really work hard on building roots and on planting the seeds of what you want, because what's going to come out of it, it's quite good and it's fast. So it's not going to take a long time for you to see the results of your initiative. I think that some of you need to be braver and bolder in your work. You need to add something, more, how you call it in English. It's like bold, different, unique. I think that some of you are afraid to take, whatever you do, you're afraid to maybe to change it, or to take a risk on, your current work, or the image you have, in your work. or in something that you are working in, you may be afraid to change, the character of it, or the presentation of it, but you should. I think that there's something, growing in you that is all about creativity and fire and passion. So if you feel like your work has been plain, or whatever you are doing is too plain, and it's not satisfying you, it doesn't have much of your creativity or much of your original spark, it's time to spice things up. I think that some Virgos are called as well during the month of May to not be afraid, of course, consciously, to spice things up. This is especially being shown in career, finances, and projects, but it could also be in relationships or any other, situation that might require, your courage to be yourself, to take a stand, to make things happen, in ways that might be different, that might be unique, even. I also feel like some of you need to be, once making a decision, once making, a choice on something, you need to be, assured of it. You need to be firm about it. You need to be committed to the choices you are making, to get things, clear. I think that some of you need to solve situations, but you're like swinging between yes or no, or I want but I don't know, those type of things. I think that some of you need to make up your minds. You want something, either you want something or you don't want something, and once you decide that, of course, making sure that you know where that answer comes from, making sure that's truthfully, a choice, I'm sorry, an answer that comes from your spirit, that comes from your heart. Once you do have the answer, you need to not be, indecisive. To make sure that once you decide something, you stick with it. I feel like some of you need to stick with your decisions. You need to stick with your ethics, with your ways, with how truthfully, authentically, genuinely things are for you. I also feel like others, you want to change in either routines that are boring or routines that have become too close. You want adventure. Your soul is kind of crying for adventure with this Knight of Wands in your soul position. So you want an adventure. You want to move with your impulses and with in a direction of something that is passionate to you. Again, I think that it's a time where things might be still, a little bit difficult to define in terms of, it's like an energy that between earth and fire, and they are not easily compatible, which means that the fire, instead of right now in the current environment and conditions making this 180 degrees crazy change, it's more about taking the fire and the urge to change and the passion in you into solid forms. So creativity into work, creativity into your daily life, so that you spice things up where you are currently. And if where you are currently and how things currently are um, don't please you, every single day you can take a step where you join caution, because I still feel like the change you are looking for, it's still coming. It's not yet fully here, and it's not yet time to fall into extremes, as some of you are either again sleeping too much and being too sleeping on situations too much, so sleepwalking through your lives and settling down with situations, both that side, or being too aggressive about change, too demanding about situations, too precipitated. So balance is, of course, the answer here. Some of you that feel that impatience, ground your energies, and for those of you that feel the opposite, that feel very dull, that your life is dull, that your life is boring and satisfying, too much of the same things, you know, on your own ways, you can add color to your life. You can take small steps to reinvent the conditions where you live or to plan ahead. Sometimes a simple, you know, activity as planning. Imagine for a trip or a place you would like to visit that excites you, or to read something or see something that excites you, to meet a friend or a lover or someone that you haven't, you know, really been doing anything with, and you know, calling it's like inviting yourself and others as well to do different things, not expecting them just to happen by chance, also promoting it. So taking your lover, taking your friend to a new place, trying a new food, a new recipes in general, doing something different with your image, doing something different, you know, with the decoration of your rooms, or small steps, but they matter and they're going to help you ease on the frustration. For some of you have a very, you know, discriminative look over an eye for, it's like an eye for details and an eye for things that are worth investing. Again, some of you need to take some steps and risks, calculated risks, into business or finances to have things working out in a better way. If you don't add if you don't spice things up where you're being called to spice things up, as you go into June, you may feel again that that restlessness is getting harder to control, and you may have again a little bit of a war situation, a battle, um, inner or outer, kind of being brought to your reality so you can confront it. I also feel like some of you are into you may be into more into sports or competitions or games, also, you know, physical activities that, you know, keep things, you know, moving. I think that some of you need to work out, you need exercise, you need to walk, you need to, you know, explore, not only mentally but also physically. And I think that your energies are so, you know, how you call it, it's like erratic, that, you know, taking out the excess, sweating or running, um, any type of activity that kind of takes out fire from you, that helps you, you know, um, take out anything that it's excessive from inside of you, could be very beneficial. Some of you are still suffering from something, again, with this past influence being the moon. I think that you're still suffering from something, or you're still kind of, you know, dealing with a situation that it's hard to cope with. Even though, as I said before, I feel like this energy that is kind of like, you feel like something is ripping you, it's fiery. I think that you are in the last phases of healing whatever this is, and it now is all about rebirth and this initiative, where you maybe, especially if this is an emotional problem, relationship problem, that has really taken you down, or that has taken away the power of your, the belief that you hold, that you are powerful, that you are strong, that you are independent and capable of, you know, winning in life or winning in situations, and being I think that some of you want to be visible, you want to be noticed, you want to be recognized, um, you want that to happen, to kind of to prove yourself that you are. Watch this, because sometimes, you know, usually when we look too much for the outer validation without, you know, having that own, that own validation by ourselves, this can create, of course, more self-esteem issues, more insecurities, because we keep looking for approval or appreciation or admiration on the world, and we don't find it because we still haven't found in ourselves. Now, for others of you that are working in finding this on your own, then yes, I think that Virgos ahead are going to be forces to be reckoned with. I think that there's something ahead for Virgos that might be an intense experience of liberation and empowerment. It's like becoming um, a very strong, having a very strong personality and character, kind of emerging out of the wreckage of whatever happened previously that brought you to this place, and this need to reawaken. The best is yet to come is also the message here. Is like whatever you are dealing with, trust you and trust me when I say that the best is yet to come. There's amazing things ahead for you, but keep pushing, keep working, and keep trying to balance as well your energies. And don't allow yourself to be beaten down by rejection. If you are knocking on a door that is not opening, gracefully try the next one or move away. And don't take that as a rejection. Don't take that as a reason to give up on yourself, because if the door doesn't open, it's because it's not for you, it's not aligned with you, it's not healthy for you, and it's possibly not even what you truly would want to have in your life. So I hope you have a great month of May. Thank you so much for all of you that have been liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting to my channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, and hopefully we'll see each other soon.